What is real education? It is my honor and blessing to be speaking with you today. Let me begin with a small introduction before diving into the heart of today's topics. The whole world, everywhere you look, is talking about one thing: education. But we ever stop to ask what real is education? Every few decades, the world changing its mind. What was once considered correct becomes outdated. What was once medicine is now poison. And what was once called education is now called irrelevant. Let me give you a sample example. Simple example. There were medicines prescribed 30 years ago what that are considered. Every few decades, the world changes its mind. What was once considered correct becomes outdated. What was once medicine is now poison, and what was once called education is now called irrelevant. Let me give me a simple example. There were medicines prescribed 30 years ago that were considered life-saving, but modern research now says they do more harm than good. Just like that, education too has been defined, refined and rejected over and over again. But no matter how many times the definitions of education has changed, three things have always remained constant. Across history, across civilization, across faith and philosophies. Whatever the was 10 years ago, 10,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago, 5 years ago, or more today in this modern age of choice and confusion. Real education always contains three C's of elements, whatever the religion's education, worldly education, or modern education. And what are these three universal elements that we will explore next? Because if your definitions of your education lacks three timeless principles, then maybe you are not being educations, you are just being trained. And you have to decide, do you want to become a well-trained person, a truly education soul? The three C's of real education. Now the question is, we are receiving those three essential elements through our educations today. If we are even partially, then let me you with full confidence, we may be more education than someone from Harvard or Oxford. I know the thought comes to mind. I studied in a modest school from a small town. Small towns, I went to an average school, college, universities. How can I ever compare myself to someone from LUMS, Harvard and Oxford? But time teaches with truth. And the truth is, if those three core elements exist within you, then no matter where you are studied from, you stand tall and perhaps even taller. So what are those three things? Modern education researchers now call them the three C's. They says if your education contains these three C's, then it is real. If it does not, it may be nothing more than sophisticated ignorance. And it does not matter where it is taught, a school, a university, a madrasa, or the universities. The first C, confidence. Education at its core must create confidence, not arrogance, not pride, but that deep, calm sense of belief in yourself. If your learning has not built confidence, then no matter how fancy the degree, it is incomplete. But I believe something even deeper. I believe that true confidence is born from faith. The strongest confidence in the world comes from believing that your Rabb, God, your Lord, it's your providers. That's the kind of confidence no Harvard professors can give you. Only faith in God can. I remember once while training a group of the government officers, I said something with deep emotions. If you are ever tempted by the something harm, looks up at the sky and say, "Oh Allah, I am living this not out of fear of the loss, but out of love and fear of you. And I promise you, not only will halal comes, it will come better, it will come multiplied." That's the first C, confidence. No modify, confidence. The kind that says, my Lord is my providers, my success is not in someone's hands. It's already written by Allah, God. And when that confidence entered our heart, no schools, no ranking, and no salary can define your worth. The second C, creativity, the mark of the truly education mind. Heaven and hell. Yes, they are part of the afterlife. But if you are sensitive enough, you being a smell of the fragrance of the heaven in the world. And if you are disconnected from your truth, you start to feel the heat of hell long before death. This is deep awareness, this confidence in divine design. It what the modern world calls the first C confidence. It does not matter where it comes from, a school, a college, a university, or even mother lap. If it gives you a unwavering belief in your creators and his system, your education's not just degrade, put education, but education. Because I have seen pupils with the highest qualifications and the lowest faith, no confidence, no trust in themselves on their Lord, the walks proudly, but their feet tremblingly inside. Second C, creativity. The second true mark of the real educations is creativity. Creativity is the ability to think beyond what given, to imagine, to event. That take an idea, build something new out of it. A truly education mind does not just follow old path, it's creative new one. It does not always ask what is the allowed. It also asks what's possible. Just look around you. The microphone you are speaking into, the lights around you, the camera recording you, all of this work of creative minds. The ceiling fans, the AC, the generations, the world knock incident, they were created by those who refuse to accept limits. That's why the second C is the so powerful, because it keeps your mind and real realm of possibilities. An education person does not live in closed doors. He knows my Lord has created resources outside me and potential inside. So if a door is closed, maybe I need to wait, maybe I need to pray, maybe I need to grow, but it can be impossible. Modern science now proves that incident wisdom always knew. Your greatest resources are not outside, they were within you. Talent lies inside you, skills lie inside you, ideas are born within you. And when you become aware of your inner potential, that when creativity begins. You start living in the world of options, not limitations. You spread the message of your faith, not your survival, but with passion. You don't rely on religions for income. You rely on your faith. You empower your missions. That the real service, that the real freedom, and that, my friend, it is the second C of true education. Confidence in your Lord, creativity from your soul. The third one, we'll talk about that next. The third C is the third C is character. The heart of true education. Let's be honest. If education does not provide and produce character, then it is not education at all. If a person can read and write but does not honest, it is not punctual, it's not committed to his word, it's not willing to sacrifice for a cause, then he is not truly education. He is just an informed fool. And how this is not just spiritual talk. Modern research confirms it. Scholarship, physiologists and educators have all studied institutions across the globe, from the first of the West, from religions, seminars and elite universities, and how know what the found. Across all real education system, three things consistently emerge in pupil: confidence, creativity and character. But then comes the deeper insight. Researchers says there was one era in human history when every individual sitting in the system embodied all three C's. That era was 14 years ago, the time of the Hazrat Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. I truly believe this with all my heart. All the universities of the world, all the institutions of the West can be humbled at the feet of even one true student of the Prophet, peace be upon him. Because what came out of that system was not just education, it was transformations. You want to know what means to the content without greed. You want to understand what the justify real is. Don't read 10 books, just study the life of Umar ibn al-Khattab radiyallahu ta'ala. You want to understand bravery. Don't watch superhero movies, study the unmatched courage of Ali ibn Talib. You want to learn what truly loyalty means. Look no further than Abu Bakr, Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala, who stood by the Prophet, peace be upon him, side when the entire world turned away. These were not just men of knowledge, they were men of deep, refined, powerful character. But how is character built? According to even modern thinking, there are two main ways of build in it a society. One, through system. Strong system can enforce characters. In many countries, people follow traffic laws, quaint patiently and behave responsibility not necessarily because of inner values, but because the system is strong. There were cameras, fines, accountability, but that not ideal. Number two, thought values. The second and more powerful way of build character. It thought value and internal training. That what the Prophet, peace be upon him, did. He did not just install laws, he built hearts, he did just government of the body, he uplifted the soul. When system collapse, character survives only if it was built with them. So if your education gives you confidence, ignite your creativity and build your character, then you are truly education, then even if your world never give you a degree. Equops, final message. You don't need to study at Oxford to wise. You don't need to go to Harvard of the honorable. You need the 3 C's: confidence in your creator, creativity from your mind, character in your soul. That's real education. Everything else, it is just training. Systems and role models, how character is formed. Let me a story. For example, I was in Hong Kong with my family, staying in an apartment on the 22nd floor. Once day the host who invited me called and said, "Come downstairs, we are going out." So I said the kids was not ready yet. So we waited near the building. Then he said, "Let me show you something amazing." I thought he was joking. Maybe it was a money show and something silly. But instead he reached into his wallet, pulled out a few dollars and dropped them on the ground. I waited to see what would happen. I accepted what I had always seen. Someone would quickly walk by and grab them, maybe look around first, maybe pretend to return it, or maybe take it straight to their pockets. But we waited, not for 5 minutes, not for 30, for 2 whole hours, and no one touched the money, no one persons. I asked my host, why did not anyone take it? He smiled and said, the power of the system, a system so strong that it teach people not to touch, was not their cameras, laws, accountability, cultures. It all comes together. And when it to hit me, I felt a lump in your thought, tears welled up in my eyes, not because of how advanced they were, but because I thought, if only we had same trust in Allah Almighty system, if only we believed, truly believed, that whatever it means for us can be taken away, that what we give we don't lose, that what we share multiplies, that guest brings blessing, not burden. If we had this belief, maybe we would not need cameras to do the right thing. Modern physiology talks about Maslow's hierarchy, that man first needed to survival, food, shelter, self-prevention. But look at the companion of the Prophet, peace be upon him, the redefined survival, the found purpose in sacrifice, the considered in honor to give their lives for the truth. Their system was not cameras, their system was belief. And I have a story of just fun, but it's a big lesson. Who's get the driver who met every conditions except one. Sometimes we ask for exactly what we want, and then when it arrives, we realize we were not ready. Let me tell me what happened. I was traveling, my family needed a second driver, someone responsible, religious, respectful. You know how it when you have a family, a driver is not just a driver. He is someone who takes your kind to school, drives your wives to appointment, managing time with privacy, patience and value. So I told my assistant, put an ad in the newspaper. we need someone reliable driver. Now here the twist, I was out of country. So the ad was finalized by my wife, and being the kind-hearted, values-driven woman she told assistant exactly what to write. Looking for a God-fearing, prayerful, honest, fasting, trustworthy, high-performance driver. Yes, every single virtuate packed into a newspaper ad. And as fate would have it, someone replied, a man arrived, and he was exactly as described. When I got home that day, I walked him, and there he was sitting quietly, head lowered, neatly dressed, beard, simplicity on his face, no music, no noise, no demands, just peace. I thought, oh, thanks God, this is what we asked for, this is the answer. So I asked him, brother, what do you have, any conditions? He said calmly, yes sir, 3. I nodded, please go ahead. First condition he had, and he said, there will be no music in the car. I smiled, of course, we don't play music anyway. Second condition, when it's time for prayer, I will stop at nearby mosque and pray. I said, that is not condition, it's a blessing. Then he said, and third one, and it left me speechless. He looked me in the eyes and said, the third conditions, you have to teach me how to drive because I don't know how to drive. So that's it, just fun. So subscribe to my channel for more motivational speeches, likes, shares, and please put in comments what you want, how your demands. Just I knowing that. Bye bye.